What's going on YouTube? William Barry here, coming at you live from the power of the internet. Well, not live. It's a video. I need to stop saying that. I'm just so used to saying it after the last 10 years that it's ingrained into who I am. That's my first real Red Bull in 3 months. Oh God. My addiction. Anyway, I came out and said that I was done with League of Legends content. And I really want to move away from that stuff. However, I did, when I was going through my channel to looking through some stuff, looking at my recent subscribers and comments, I came across a poll that I had made right here. I mean, it was from almost a year ago. Well, it was like 7 months ago, where people picked what song they wanted to play, have me watch next. Now, I'm gonna have to do that because when I say I'm gonna do something, even if it's a little late, I think I'm gonna have to follow through with that. Or else, what's the point of you engaging with me if I just fucking ignore it, right? So that's what we're gonna do today. We are going to do exactly that. So today we're gonna be watching Woodkid's song. Now, odds are, because Riot's going lame, and I think this might be there's a good chance it gets copyright striked. So if some of the audio or something gets cut out, then apologize. I'll try and pause frequently enough to where it doesn't copyright strike me, but I mean, let's see what happens. Let me turn off my music that I was listening to on Spotify. All right, man, let's dive into this. For those of you that know, I really liked Arcane season 2 and season 1. I think that the show was a masterpiece. I've even posted, I believe, my thoughts about it here on this YouTube channel. Tire season 2 is coming out, boys. Let's get to it. Let's dive into this. Let's see what, Is there a... So it already has that, one, it sounds industrial, which really fits in with the themes of Piltover and Zon. One is based in science, and the other one is based in more crude mechanical industry. And I mean, just the way that it sounds like it's playing to that motif, which is already a cool concept. Very cinematic.
Walk along the edge of danger, and it will change you.
That's actually a true statement. If you walk along the edge of danger, it will change you. This is why music is such a fascinating thing. Because one, how it's composed sends a message. The instruments chosen for a particular thing sends a message. The feelings those things invoke send a message. The way that words are pronounced and sung and spoken send a message. The words depicted and picked send a message. There are so many layers to a song that just go beyond sounds good, that when you critically analyze these things, it can change so much about everything. You know what I mean? Contextualization is a crazy, bro. Okay. And I remember this was it was the song that played when they had their big fight, I think at the end of the 3rd episode of season 2, which everyone thought the whole show was compelling to this one. So this felt a little rushed, but it was still so good when it showed up in the show.
And it will change you. Why would you let this voice set in your head? It is meant to destroy you.
And listen, even though it's not robust in how he's singing it, it is dripping. I don't even know who Woodkid is. I've never listened to his music other than if it's appeared in Arcane before. This is a very good performance, and we're only in like 2 fucking sentences into his performance. It's not. It's contracted, right? It's not super out there. But did you hear how heavy he was breathing in that when he was like I don't know. It sounds pained. Let's see if we can hear it again.
It is meant to destroy you.
Yeah, the way that he says, yeah, like the way he hangs on that, it sounds like he's choking on the words, which is deeply, it can resonate with people, especially when people are feeling like they're being crushed under a massive burden, even if it's only metaphorical. Kind of like the way that, you know, Piltover crushes Zahn through their like overbearing control of Zahn's society, which is reflected in the core and thematic resonance all throughout the entire show, and the conflict between all of those characters, even outside of the show, even in the game.
It is meant to destroy you. You summon storms, you play with nature.
Okay.
Now watch it hurt you.
Your summon storms, play with nature. I mean, dude, if you wanted to get into a philosophical rabbit hole, you could dive into that for hours. That could be the miasma that they released on the people of Zahn to find peace. You know what I mean? The storms that generated by, you know, mankind, global warming. Like, there are so many layers that you can dive into and sparse through so much. This is storytelling through music.
Now watch it hurt you. Why would you want to shape the world in your hands? You will never make it through.
So again, that can play into so many different things. There's like, I don't know the technical term for this in psychology. I'm not that well read, but I know briefly about it. Like a layman's understanding. And something that like people like Jordan Peterson and various other political thinkers touch on, though I think they don't go deep enough to like prescribe what they're saying. One thing that's really important about people and religion and all of those things is in all of these aspects, you can strip away the dogmatic principles of all religions and all politics and come to the conclusion that all of us are the universe itself. The universe itself crafted consciousness, which is what people like Jordan Peterson, though they don't explicitly say it often, is what God is. And so for all of us, what we like to do is we perceive the world around us in ways that we think is like intrinsic to the rest of humanity. But what we're really doing is we are a fraction of consciousness trying to understand ourselves. And what we try to do is we try to grasp the world and shape it in our own image, as if we are the ones playing God. And that's directly correlative to what he just said. Why do you want to shape the world in your own hands when it will destroy you? Shows like Rick and Morty back in the day used to touch on this. No matter how intelligent you are, no matter how well-reasoned you are, no matter, you know, how virtuous you are, the world, the universe, entropy will always win. You will never overcome the things you rail against. You can just rail against it for a time and then carve out your own legacy in your own way. But at the end of the day, you will die. You will die and leave this earth, and it will be shaped by someone else if you are lucky enough to shape it at all. What you might do is probably just shape a handful of people throughout time, which is still a massive success. Again, storytelling through music, touching on core philosophical principles that are tied to every aspect of our humanity. This is fucking awesome. And the song hasn't even got going yet, man. This is just the setup that undergirds the entire fucking show and the entire resonance of season 1 building into season 2 right here through just a handful of lines that if you're willing to interpret them and think about them in a wider, view outside of just music, it's fucking incredible, man. This is going on a playlist already.
Why would you want to shape the world in your head? You will never make it through.
That's cool. So this is something that a lot of artists do, especially rappers or people like Machine Gun Kelly, which is really smart, honestly. If you don't have the vocal chops to hit high notes or to hit like the harmonics that you're looking for, you can always outsource this to other things. So this guy sounds like he's like really, I think it's called, look, dude, I'm not really good with technical terms, but I think he likes to hang out in a baritone sounding voice. Like he probably is more comfortable with throat singing and other things like that than, belting and, throwing bravado into the air and just, I used to say it all the time, ad libs. He's probably not a guy that's going to do a lot of that, but he's got an old Western style vibe that fits the tone that he's going for. But this is also a song for a fight scene between Vi and Jinx. It has to have more emotional depth other than just the sad. That has to have that build-up, explosive dynamic. It's an action song at the same time. So not only is he covering these things, but he's bringing in a choir that sounds primarily of children, also to hint at the vibes that, Zahn is under an oppressive weight from a structural thing like Piltover that is currently, at the time, poisoning its citizens to stop Jinx. All of this is awesome because it all ties into the thematic of what's going on. This is a masterfully created song that keeps the storytelling concise and through at every point. This is how you do music, especially in a cinematic flair. But he's not pushing too hard. It could also be a different guy too. It's so catchy, dude.
You waste your life to gain power.
Okay, the hook, or it's not the hook. It's the. Wait, yeah, it's the hook. What am I? I'm losing my mind, dude. I haven't done a music reaction in forever. The choruses are going to be super drowned down and emotionally resonant. The hook was powerful and dynamic with a magnitude of different sounds coming from different angles. It was energetic and it built up the tension from the hook, the first chorus into the hook. And now it was very well done. And that line right there, why do you waste your life seeking power? You could break that down for fucking 10 years in debate. That's just stroking my, conflated ego.
To ashes and blood. You waste your life to gain power. You shift to gain rules. How does it feel to reach the line that no one ever got to cross? Does it make you a god now?
How does it make you feel to reach a line that no one's ever got close? Does it make you feel like a god now? Bro. Yes, man. I should have listened to this the day after. Oh my God. I mean, I've heard the song once because I've watched season 2 like 3 times. So I've heard the song a few times, but I've never dug into the song. It was more of like just me appreciating the song as a set piece in a show that was already dripping with so much. But now that the song is center point, this is an amazing song, man.
You shift the game rules. How does it feel to reach the line that no one ever got to cross? Does it make you a god now? Every sin will be forgiven if you lay down your weapons to the ground.
That could be interpreted from Vi and Caitlyn's perspective. Everything will be forgiven if you lay your weapons down. But this isn't just Jinx fighting an oppressive system. This is Jinx, and look, I disagree with Jinx in this show. I don't think that she's the character people give her all the love for. I think she's a villain through and through. But you have to understand the motivations of a character, especially if you want to criticize them. Jinx isn't just fighting an oppressive system that killed her parents. She's fighting an oppressive system that corrupted her sister. Jinx is someone who believes that death is acceptable to achieve your goals. And at some point in all movements, that's true. As much as, we don't want to say that, historically, movements that prioritize peace are more effective. Like Martin Luther King versus the Black Panthers, they're part of the similar movement, but one of them resonates way more. But when no one is listening and no one cares and you have no power, as fucked up as it is, sometimes violence is the only option. And from our Western privileged position, it's hard to think about that as a possibility because we have major issues in our countries. But our issues are way different than those of others. Other people that suffer under tremendous burdens, they don't have statehood. They don't have rights. They don't have, they have things that that's worth to kill for and worth to die for. And, oh my God, dude, fucking Christ. How can a song about a fucking video game be better than anything coming out of modern Hollywood? And how can it have so much? Oh my God, bro. This is come on, man.
Sin will be forgiven if you lay down your weapons to the ground.
There's that cinematic flare, dies down, builds the tension. Come on, dude, this is awesome.
Catch the fire burning out your soul. Just make it
So we're building up to probably the most explosive part of the song. Let's see how this goes, because I don't think he has the chops to do it.
catch the fire burning out your soul. Just make it die.
It's getting there. It's gonna hit its peak. We need the release. Come on.
To ashes and blood.
Come on.
To ashes and
You can hear that the kids are doing a little bit of ad libs built behind some of the what's the word I'm looking for? Theatrical like drums and sound effects, accentuating sound. It's kind of bleeding it out. This is my biggest criticism of Riot Games and Riot Games music, is they never hit the zenith of what they're approaching. And this has been a trend that's happened for like the last 4 years, which ultimately stales their music to me. They build up all of this tension through, you know, like I said, the thematic, like not the word. It's almost like sound effects in a movie where like the bass is incredibly loud on certain specific things to drive home dread, fear, and anxiousness. And they do that so well. NF does this a lot with his rap music, where he'll use big exploding drum sounds and, you know, he'll build up tension. But when he does it, NF comes in with a verse that's so fucking raw, you're like, okay? They're not doing that. And like, this has been the same for like the last 10 songs I've reacted from them, which is kind of frustrating because it feels like you got blue balls, man. I went through this entire journey with you and you're not hitting shit right now. This was like my biggest problem with Star Walking. Song was great, but it never had that fucking moment, man. You need that release in order to like walk away from it feeling satisfied. It's like getting a hand job, but she stops right before you come and then you never come. And you're just like, oh, what the fuck was the point? Come on, dude, this is your moment. Do it. Can't rely on just the sound music. Come on, give me something. Don't die out. Man, how the fuck are you gonna blue ball me so goddamn hard? That was more disappointing than the first time I made love to a young lady when I was a young man. That was, man, the hype up leading up to that moment to it just be completely deflated with fucking nothing is kind of really disappointing. All of those deep thematic fucking undertones that like literally set the stage for like this beautiful moment that never came. Modern music is dying and it annoys me to no end. That was anticlimactic as fuck, man. I feel like I just went to see a really good, like, it was like watching Game of Thrones, man. The first, 4 seasons were a masterclass in everything. And then we get nothing else after that because you could just quit watching the show to save yourself the embarrassment of what happens after. That actually ruined my night, man. God damn it, Riot, you fucking useless dog shit. This is why I don't play your shit anymore, man. That's really bad. Like, all he had to do was have like there was some relief because the music got more chaotic, more all over the place, which, I mean, if you're just into instrumentation, that should be good enough for you. But if you're someone who wants the entire package to deliver what it's doing, you cannot have stellar vocal performances, both from the people that are in the chorus and then from the guy, from the hook and then the guy from the chorus, and then not give us anything worth a fuck to like linger on. That's disappointing to my core. Man. Well, we have more to do. There are a few more things on there that other people wanted to see. Or was it right here? Heavy's the we already did. Oh, I guess there's one that it's just her. Last time I got copyright strikes for those videos. I think Marcus King Sucker was one that people voted for. And I can't believe people did not want to see What Have They Done to Us. When that song showed up in the actual show, it made me teary-eyed, bro. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. For those of you that are interested in following my, not so either politically driven stuff or music analysis, you can always take a look at some of my work that I'm posting now on Wattpad. I'm writing a story called Ill of Men that chronicles the stories of a young man that goes through his life from a boy to eventually a knight and old age, something that's uncommon in most stories. You can follow it here. I'll post links and stuff in the description for the music and all that stuff. Thank you so much for watching. And those of you that stuck around, even in my dog shit absence, I applaud you. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Peace.